Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'm getting ready to do a walk and we're going to talk about a story. I'm going to tell you guys my first Thanksgiving with my wife. It turned out to be a half a disaster. I explained it to you. It's windy outside and I feel like poo. But let's get this walk done and over with. And I think today what I'm going to do is every 3 laps, or maybe, every 3 laps, I'm going to do a video clip. Now, the wind might dicker over. It may not be as bad because I'm on this camera, my older camera. It seems like that new one really hates wind. So, we're just going to do what we can do. But this is my first Thanksgiving with Angie 26 years ago. Okay, my first lap in. Let's start the video. 26 years ago, we was having our very first Thanksgiving. We was living in a trailer, and that's the trailer that I mentioned in previous videos that burnt to the ground. Of course, obviously, this is before it burnt. And it was our first Thanksgiving together, so we wanted to do it up right. So we invited 8 of our friends to come over and join us. 8 friends to come over and join us for Thanksgiving. And we pretty much started cooking the day before. And then we got up early that morning and cooked all day long. Now when I get back, I'll tell you exactly what all we had. Now the thing about Thanksgiving, we wanted to do it upright. First of all, we wanted to make sure we had a variety of food for everybody. So we made 5 different types of pies. Not only we had the largest turkey we could find, we figured, well, they may not like turkey, so we also had a chicken and a large ham to boot. And then all the fixings you could possibly imagine. Sweet potatoes, mashed potatoes, all kinds of vegetables. We made homemade rolls. We made homemade biscuits. We had the works. We cooked everything possible. And what our game plan was like, okay, we would have plenty of food. We have enough food to feed a small army. And when everybody has to get done with Thanksgiving, they can take home leftovers, which we knew there would be a lot of. So we cooked that whole day. We slaved over that stove. Now outside, which we didn't really pay a whole bunch of attention to, because we was busy, it was a snowstorm brewing. Oh yeah. And it was starting to come down. And I'll tell you the rest of it. I'll tell you the next clip in about 3 more laps. That's how I'm doing it today. Every 3 laps I'm going to make a clip. Yeah. We made all that food and it was about the time for people to show up. And then the phone rings. It was one of our friends saying, can't make it. Snow's so bad outside, they can't make it. We understood, so... And he's like, well, maybe the rest of them will show up. And we still didn't really realize how bad it was outside. So we sat there for about an hour, trying to keep all the food warm and everything. And then it hits us. I was like, Angie, there ain't nobody going to be showing up. It's bad out there. Then we found out our town went to a level 3 snow emergency, which means nobody's allowed on the road unless it's police, fire department, or ambulances. It's like, well, crap, we got all this food. What are we going to do? We had enough food to feed easily 15 people. And we was only going to plan to feed for 8. And now we had all this food, it's just me and Angie. Now, Angie was pregnant with Elizabeth, so technically she was feeding for 2, but still in all. Alright, guys. My next video clip will be right after break. Okay, I said I was going to do a clip at break, but I was figuring it out wrong. I won't take a break for approximately a little bit more than a half a mile. So we had all this food, and we went ahead and had our Thanksgiving dinner, and there's a lot of food left. And we was starting to was going to go ahead and put it up. And I remember Angie saying, Michael, we got a problem. Now, something else we didn't think about, our refrigerator was small, tiny. And we could not fit all the leftovers inside that fridge. There was just no way. So we did some rearranging. We was able to get the chicken in there, the ham in there, and the turkey in there. And that took up pretty much the whole room. We didn't really need to put the pies in there. The rolls were fine, and the biscuits were fine. And I said the pies, didn't I? You know, but some of the other stuff we had, like the sweet potatoes, the mashed potatoes, and a few other things, there's just no room for. And I told Ange, I said, I don't want to waste it. There's nobody we could give it to. We can't set it outdoors and let Mother Nature keep it cold because the neighborhood dogs will get into it. I said, we have no other choice but eat it. I said, I don't believe in wasting food because wasting food is pretty much a sin. I said, we have to eat. You know? I said, you're feeding for two. I said, we're just going to have to eat it. You know, it'll keep without being refrigerated for a couple hours. So we're just going to have to mow down. Alright guys, an intermission. And I get back to the story and finish it up. I'm down here at one of my favorite places to walk, Waterway, and I'm down here where they got the trees. Now I want to show you something. I meant to go back on my other videos when I did this first, but I think they had to renumber that tree. Because last time they had actually had it on the bark, and as you can see, the tree is so dead the bark's falling off. I know I made a plea down here for them to leave the trees for the squirrels, but honestly I may have to take that back. They're becoming very dangerous. Big parts of them are falling down and they are really, really dead. The bark's falling off of them, so... But I don't think our town's going to get them down anytime soon anyway. They did do some patching on the road down here. Believe it or not, they blacktopped some of the big holes. Yeah. Alright guys, let me go and take my break, drink some water, and we'll finish the Thanksgiving. I'd like to tell you all that we ate all the food, but we didn't. There's no way. We didn't eat all the food. There's no way we could. And what we didn't eat, we kept it out as long as we could until it was past the time where it would have went bad, just in case somebody showed up. But yeah, our fault was we made way too much food, and it was our first Thanksgiving, so I guess we want to do it upright. Our second problem was not paying attention to the weather and canceling it and having it for the next couple days later. You know, that's our fault. But only one of our friends was the only one that called and said he wouldn't be there. The seven more people that was left, or was it 7? I can't remember. It might have been 6 or 5. They just didn't show. They didn't bother calling. So yeah, what did we learn from this? Well, make enough food that will feed the people that's there and make sure they're going to show up. Oh, I like to tell you guys that was only the first mishaps I had on Thanksgiving, but there was one other, and that's a story I cannot tell you. Okay, I'm doing my slow down. The reason I can't tell the story because it's of another family that I was invited to for Thanksgiving, and they got a hold of some horrible news. And yeah, I can't tell that one, guys. It just wouldn't be something you want to put on YouTube. But yeah, 26 years ago is when Angie and I had the first Thanksgiving together. Made too much food. The company we had that was supposed to show up never showed. And we had nowhere to store at least half the food. And we ate as much as we could. We gorged ourselves. And a good portion of it went to waste. Whew. Well, I had my Thanksgiving Sunday. We had ham. Funny thing is, I don't like turkey. I don't like turkey, and I'll tell you what's funny about that is, oh boy, this sky's starting to look promising. I don't like turkey because when I quit smoking, remember the video we made? Or I made? We didn't make it, but we might have made it, right? And I don't know if I told you this, but when I quit smoking, food tasted different to me. And when I quit smoking, I lost urge for turkey. I had no more urge for turkey after that. So yeah, we had our thing Sunday. But guys, I hope you have a safe and awesome Thanksgiving. If you got to be out on the road, be careful. Remember, this is the time of year that most people are going to be traveling. More so on Thanksgiving than Christmas. And be careful. Look what you're doing. And follow my yesterday's video. Drive safe. Until next time, guys, come on. And before I say let's get out of here, which I just said it, I may not be walking tomorrow because I got to thinking, let's look a little bit around this tree. I got to thinking that we're supposed to have 50-mile-an-hour winds. And with 50-mile-an-hour winds, it's going to be safe walking anywhere I walk because where I walk at, it's always trees. And I made that mistake once before walking in high winds, and branches were flying everywhere and we had to stop. So I may have to sit this one out tomorrow. It's okay though, I make it up this weekend, no problem. I make it up. What I don't do tomorrow, I make up. But anyway, guys, come on, let's get out of here. Happy Thanksgiving.